Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei 1. Now, something I forgot to do that's pretty important last episode, I did not equip our new attack knife, and that's important because our character will deal no damage without a weapon pretty much, and random encounters are now just going to happen on the world map. So, pretty important that we have a weapon at this point. It would be nice if you went out and bought some armor and stuff like I did too, but you don't really need to. It's a good idea though. Always use protection, kids. Now we're gonna go south to the park here just to see what's up there, because we heard about the girl's murder and whatnot. But first, we have our first random encounter. Now, something that, if you're new to the Shin Megami Tensei series, might be weird is that you can actually talk to the random encounter monsters and whatnot in this RPG series, and that's actually a big part of what makes Megaten, I guess. And you pretty much talk to them until you get them into a menu where you can enforce various demands. The primary being to make a demon into your ally, and then you can summon them into your party and then use them as a extra party member. Unfortunately, this demon did not want to cooperate very well. Demon negotiations are hard. A lot of people don't like them for that reason, but I think that it's important that they're not too easy, because it might break the balance a little bit and you'd have just an excess of demons that you can grab and whatnot. And also, they're demons. Of course they're not going to be the friendliest of creatures. Homeless guy in the park. Nothing unusual here. A little bit more foreshadowing on the Law and Chaos thing, which big part of Megami Tensei as well, and the major alignment dichotomy that will affect things such as what bosses we fight and the route we go in the story and even the ending and whatnot. And like I said before, I think I'm gonna try and be as comprehensive with all of those scenarios as possible in this LP. Back in what seems like a dream again. Guess we're daydreaming. But this landscape looks a little bit more like a building than the trippy acid thing that our other dreams were. Even staircases and whatnot. Sorry for the loud airplane noises that I'm sure you can hear. Can't solve that, unfortunately. But Mom... I feel like that's every mother-son conversation ever. You shouldn't do this, but I can't stop you anyways, because you're gonna do it anyways. Parenting is hard. I really like the architecture of this room with the traditional Japanese archway there, and then the even you have the little people to the left and right there in the traditional garb, combined with the sci-fi elements, rather. I think it looks neat. Little touches like that is why I love this game. Alright, so this is a little bit of a forced encounter. Nothing too special here, but we do have our other party members here, so we can kind of show off a little bit of their magic spell capabilities before we should. Pretty neat. Obviously, that guy is way too powerful for us right now. This is a human enemy, and that's kind of important because depending on the enemy type, you might not be able to recruit them. Yakuza is one of those enemy types where you just straight up cannot get them to join you. You can get money out of them, but they will never join you. There are some human enemies later that will join you if you negotiate with them, though, which is neat. And they're a little special, but I'll get to that more so when we get to our first human encounter that we can recruit. You might notice that I killed off one of the pixies before negotiating with this one. That's just so I take less damage if they decide to attack because of a failed negotiation attempt. As you can see, that's the demand menu, if you want to call it that, and you just pretty much barter. You either need to give the demon money or items or whatever, so that they give you what you want. Then here's this thing. I don't even think you can talk to that demon specifically. Some demons just you straight up cannot talk to because they can't speak. I think at the end of this video, that level up screen just reminded me, I'm gonna give just a basic rundown of all the stats and why they're important. I'm just gonna, cut that out. Gonna do my best to edit out all of the gratuitous random encounters in this game. Especially later on, it's just not fun to watch. Fucking knew we shouldn't have grabbed the attack knife. Okay, first of all, what puppy rips out a dude's throat? I think this guy's a cat lover. Those bars look really wide. Like, I think you could just, like, go sideways through them, but whatever. Those pants, though. Just try and break down the wall. Uh-oh. Here's this thing. I don't even know if I successfully recruited this thing. If I recall, I had really bad luck with negotiation in this area. Yeah, just left. Sometimes that'll happen. This is a neat thing. If you have a demon already recruited as an ally in your party, and you talk to a same demon of that type, they'll see that one of their friends is with you, and they'll just leave you alone. Really good way to get out of encounters you don't want to go through. So that's the person we saw, giving us weird shit on LimeWire. Can't believe it's 2015 and I'm talking about LimeWire. Or Steven. You know, that's really weird because, like, by that logic, I feel like there'd be a guy who got attacked by a crocodile or something and was like, I need to make a program so that I can talk to crocodiles, but, you know, whatever floats your boat, Steven. Yeah, that's... By giving more people access to demons, I feel like that's a bad idea, first off, but whatever. Usability, am I right? Well, now we vaguely know that there's a Goto person that is not doing a good job with his demon summoning capabilities, and that's no good. Alright, so this is the first dungeon of the game, essentially. It's not too hard, only 2 floors. That's no good. There's another one of those things. Might have noticed it said zombie there, and that's because sometimes when you kill a random encounter, another one will take the demon's place, and you'll have to fight a few in a row. Here's a were-dog. It's not as cool as a werewolf, apparently. Wasn't the oh wait, no, that was a were-hog. Never mind. I was gonna say, wasn't were-dog one of those, like, Sonic game gimmicks or whatever, but no. One letter off, what can you do? Predators are really annoying to deal with. I'm going to be showing off every demon at least once, and that's kind of why I just decided to let this one drag out, so you can kind of get a feel for what every random encounter feels like, or at least every mob that you can encounter feels like. Yuji took some heavy damage there. He is not a very strong guy. You know what, might as well just explain it now with the stat stuff instead of the end of the video. So strength determines physical attack strength. Intelligence is mostly the effect of magical attacks such as status ailment attacks and healing spells and whatnot. Magic is magical attack power. Vitality determines HP and defense stuff. Agility is mostly things like what turn order happens in battle, evasion rates, stuff like that. Critical hit rates, I'm pretty sure, and then luck affects a lot of minor things, like it also has an impact on critical hit rates and stuff like that. It also determines how good the items are you get out of chests and whatnot. Like, you have a higher chance of getting a really rare thing out of a chest that you encounter in a dungeon or something. Luck is pretty useless, though, and also there's a reason not to really go too hardcore into luck that will come apparent much later on. Now, I will point out here, I guess, too, while I'm negotiating with this knocker. Intelligence does seem like it would be useless for the main character, but intelligence seems to have at least some form of impact on negotiation success rates. So you do want to actually put some points for the main character into intelligence. Don't go too crazy with it, but you don't want it to be just baseline minimal. Magic is, for all intents and purposes, pretty useless on the main character. There is one command in the negotiation menu that is a stat check for the main character's magic, but it's so situational that it's not even worth leveling up. I think it's the glower command or whatever. We're gonna summon our demons and then get into position here. So the first 3 people in your party are in the front row, and they're going to... Those are the people that are more tankier, essentially. They'll take more damage, and if I recall, they have less chance of dodging attacks, while as the people in the back row, they don't take as much damage, and dodge more and whatnot, stuff like that. We're almost done with this dungeon. At this point, you should at least have one demon, or else the boss of this dungeon is going to be a nightmare for you. I'm pretty sure it's doable, but you're not going to have a good time. Found our first stat raising item. So anytime you find an incense, it'll raise that stat point of whatever type it is by 1 point. It's kind of like the tabs in Chrono Trigger, or, you know, items like that in other RPGs. And here's our first legitimate boss. Have Yuji cast magical attacks, and if you have a pixie, use the Onga. And this guy can make people fall asleep, which is not good. Knocker has Terukaja, which raises physical attack, and it's really nice. So we're going to have him buff up Kazuya. Well, buffs up the whole party, but for all intents and purposes, Kazuya is our main physical attacker at this point, so... That is until the demons run out of MP, rather, and all they can do is physical attacks. And Yuji is asleep still, unfortunately. unfortunately. His Zan spell is very, very useful for this fight. Yuji gained enough experience to level up twice. Just gonna go right for magic. And your spellcasters will learn new spells if you level up enough. Unlike other future Megami Tensei games, demons do not level up. They do not have any experience of any kind. So they will never learn new spells. They're just stuck with what they have. Very little customization of demons in this game. And by very little, I mean none at all. So now that we beat that boss, we can get the hell out of here, thankfully. Here's the map of the first floor, pretty much. And let's see some daylight. Oh, that was the first dungeon of the game. Not too hard.